One of our guiding principles, Goldsky, is we believe that the world will eventually be fully decentralized. Yeah, my name is Kevin. I'm the founder and CEO of Goldsky, helping build the on-chain operating system for data. We make it super easy to go take on-chain data and build some kind of API out of it. But it's an API that's customized to just you. People have to use an RPC node either way, right? There's no other way to get on-chain data. Goldsky, what we do instead is we partner with the leading node providers to help manage all of that for them. With Goldsky, we do a lot of things that are very bleeding edge, right? So we have a lot of customers, for example, a lot of gaming customers. We work very closely with Zai, with Treasure, right? And they have a lot of demands on basically making sure that data shows up very, very, very fast, right? So what that means is whenever they have any kind of sudden ramp up in activity or usage, we have to be able to scale very, very fast. So that means we need to work with great partners that can help us, operate nodes, run nodes, and have those be able to also scale extremely fast and also give us really, really good data latency. About a couple years ago, I was actually helping build the next iteration of Matcha, one of the very first DEX aggregators. And we ran into a serious stumbling block with getting a lot of this data as the world basically moved multi-chain. It's one of those things where you think it will take you maybe a weekend, but of course it takes you over a month. To get something really simple out, just like getting data on chain. And that was really surprising. It was surprising that it was really, really hard not to get APIs for crypto data, but to get APIs personalized to exactly what you were trying to build. That was a challenging piece. In my mind, Web3 is kind of this new way of both storing information, but also moving it around in some sense, right? Like in the past, all the info that you read, all the transactions that you do has to go through kind of like a very well-defined process. So I think the interesting thing about Web3 and about crypto is that it's kind of really democratized this in a lot of ways, right? Like you don't have to think about, oh, who do I need to go talk to go and do this? You can kind of just go and do it. So what we found is that when people start building their apps, there's a whole bunch of work they have to do first, which is figure out like, what are we building? What are the smart contracts we're gonna write? How do we actually store this data on chain, right? That takes a lot of effort, brain power, good intuition, good luck, all of that. But once you're done with that, you have to kind of do the other side of it, which is then, great, now I've written this data on chain, how do I actually go and get it back out, right? So where Goldsky comes in is whenever you see data on a site, right, that somehow is backed by some on-chain data. For example, if you're on POAP, if you're using Rwave, if you're using Zora, if you're using NounsDAO, anytime you see those kinds of numbers on their site, that is on-chain data that they're reading back out. And doing that is not super straightforward, actually. There's a lot of pretty involved data know-how to get it in the right shape, to scale up an API, to be able to serve all of that. That's where Goldsky comes in. That's where we can help. In Web3, what you'll still find is a lot of people are still building a lot of this tooling in-house. They're building it by hand. They're kind of struggling through understanding, how do I do all this stuff? And it turns out at the end of the day that very little of that stuff is even stuff that they want to be building, right? What they want to do is they want to focus on building their product. They want to focus on building their app. They want to focus on helping their customers, right? So anything else that's more tertiary is, it's unique in Web3 that people are still kind of building it themselves, but we're working to change that. With Goldsky, developers are able to get very, very fast, low latency, auto-scaling APIs for just their on-chain data, right? So whether it's like a protocol or even a chain, right? There are often interesting data insights or just interesting data that they want to show to their customers, right? Whenever you read data on chain, it's a very complicated process. There's a lot of steps you have to go through in order to get to the end result, which is getting that data back to your users. But for a lot of our customers, it's, who do you go and talk to, right? Who do you go work with to make sure that when your app hits millions of users a day, you're actually able to scale up to go do that? That's something that we can help them with.